big thanks goes out to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. After 3 weeks of photographing nothing but coastline, it feels really good to get out and photograph trees again. And you know, as much as I like photographing other subjects, I do enjoy photographing the forests and trees on Vancouver Island. So today I've come up to an area that might be familiar to some of you, and that is Notch Hill in Nanoose. And I've been up here quite a few times and done videos over the years. But probably one of the main reasons why I've come up here this time is to try and find an Arbutus tree that I photographed, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago now, and I did do a video about it. But do you think I could find that tree? Now, the tree was quite dead, so there is a good chance that it's fallen over and I just can't find it. But I don't know, I can't even find the remnants of it. So that's going to be the goal today. And of course, if I can find compositions on the way, then I'll certainly take photographs as well of other trees. The light today is a little bit of a challenge. It's a beautiful day, and when I came up here it was quite cloudy, but there was a bit of direct sunlight coming through, so it was quite nice. But it's cleared up considerably, so it's a little bit harsh right now, but there are some clouds moving in, so I'm hoping that'll subdue the light just a little bit. In the meantime, I'm working on this composition here. Now, I have photographed this tree in the past before, in snow and without snow, but the colors are just beautiful right now on these Arbutus, so that's what I'm concentrating on. So let me show you the composition I'm working on. Okay, now I'd be the first to admit that this is a little bit busy, especially when the sun comes out. The contrast is just too high and it just makes it even busier, so I really need that subdued overcast light. But as you can see, there is a lot of color in here. Actually, I just noticed it matches my trousers, so that's good color combination with the green. There are a couple of things in here that I'm really trying to avoid and making sure that I'm actually including, even though I don't really like them in the frame. This stump here I find really quite distracting, because it's quite bright and it's not particularly attractive. But the thing is, I can't really hide it anywhere, so if I just kind of hide it a little bit over here, say like that, it kind of works, but then I can't get the composition that I really want. So I've decided just to include it like this. So the idea is that I'm including the bend of this tree here, which I quite like, and also the tree in the background is just absolutely beautiful, and the colors in this branch especially are really nice. So that might make a really great photograph just on its own, because it's you know, just isolate that one branch, it's just absolutely spectacular. The other branch that's a little bit annoying is this one here, and I did try to kind of hide it over here, so that it's kind of behind, where are we here, kind of behind here, but that doesn't really work very well. And then of course we have problems with this again. So it is a very busy, complex scene. The one part that gets a little bit busy and a little bit lost is all this stuff over here, which is quite distracting, but we'll give it a go. I mean, I do like these busy, complex scenes, and I do like working them out, but primarily the main reason why I'm taking this photograph is the color. And as I said, right now it's really contrasty, so we'll just wait for those clouds to move in, and we'll take a bunch of shots and see how they work out. Okay, I think I found a composition that I really quite like. I did have a hard time finding a composition for the red branch, that is, that was quite clean. Looking at it from the other side, it's really beautiful, but the problem is it's quite busy because you've got the woodland behind it. So what I've done is got a 45 to 100. I've zoomed in on the branches, so I'm looking up at them, and the contrast between the reds and the oranges with the blue sky is really quite lovely, and there are actually a few clouds in there as well, so it makes the sky a little bit more interesting. The only thing that I don't like is, I mean, I'm kind of nitpicking here because it probably doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things, but there's a bunch of dead leaves here, and I don't know, I find them a little bit distracting. But like I said, if I hadn't have pointed them out, most people probably wouldn't notice them when they're viewing the image. But yeah, I quite like it. I like the bends in this branch here particularly, and then the sweeps of these. So I just made sure that I got all the branches somewhat separated, and they're just kind of reaching up to the sky. Okay, I know. I've done several videos about photographing patterns on these Madrone Arbutus trees, but just look at the details here, just fantastic. So I might have to succumb to taking some more pattern shots, because I don't know, they're pretty hard to pass up. Just incredible, especially with the really rough bark here, and then they have the smooth. So the bark seems to peel every year as the tree grows. It seems to peel back more and more. These trees are looking pretty rough though. It's been very, very dry, so and this is all rock up here, so I think they're having a bit of a hard time, because we have such hot summers in the last few years anyway. Now then, I still haven't found the Arbutus tree that I was looking for. I have a feeling it was down on this bench here, but I'm going to try and explore as much on top here before I head down, so I don't have to hike back up again. It's just a wonderful day. So the clouds have moved in, which is quite nice actually for what I'm photographing today. There's a few oaks down here as well, and some really great grasses down here, so I might have to photograph those as well. Anyway, let's keep searching for this big old tree that I've seemed to have lost. Wow, look how red this is. So it's either from the sun hitting the tree, turning it red like this, or lots of dogs peeing up it. Mind you, I don't think they could pee up this high. Maybe that's from people peeing up this high. No, I think it's pretty much from the sun, and I think this is about the reddest I've seen one of these trees. Just incredible. I think I'm going to try and take a photograph of this. There's some really nice textures in here. I love these roots kind of down here. So I'm assuming that at some time this tree broke down or was cut and another one grew out of it and it's grown over the stump. But really cool. So I especially like this section here and this and up to here. So I'll see if I can get a shot of just that section there. All right, I took a shot on the red side and then I kind of explored the other side here, and there's some really cool patterns on this side as well, except this time I really do have to use an extension tube. The pattern on the other side, it was just at the cusp of, I couldn't quite focus where I wanted to, and I put the extension tube on, but then I couldn't get far enough from the subject, so I had to make a compromise. So what I ended up doing was just backing up a little bit, and I'll have to crop it in when I process the image. This one here I've put on the extension tube, the smaller one, and I think it's 13 millimeters, but don't quote me on that. And it works perfectly for this. So that's with the 45 to 100 millimeter lens. The extension tubes with the 1 to 200, they work, but the working distance of the 1 to 200 isn't as good as, you can't focus quite as close as you can with the 45 to 100. The working distance is not great with these lenses because you have to get quite close to your subject, but it's you know, if you want to take the odd close-up every now and then it's good enough. It's kind of like using a cell phone when you do close-ups. You know, you have to, your working distance is so close to the subject matter, there's no room to move around. That's why whenever you use a macro lens like a 105 or a 200 millimeter macro lens, it's great because you really have that working distance, so you can back off from your subject, really blur out the background if you want to, but you can move around and get different angles without too much trouble. When you're this close, it's hard to maneuver around sometimes. Anyway, this is really quite beautiful. There's oranges and purples in there. It's really quite lovely. But I still haven't found that tree. So let's keep going and see if we can find it. I want to take this opportunity to thank Squarespace for continuing to support my channel and sponsoring this week's video. My favorite feature of my Squarespace website is the ability to quickly and efficiently update a gallery or page from my desktop computer or on the fly using the Squarespace app from my smartphone. Loading multiple images onto a page is quick and allows changing a page or design quickly and elegantly without any coding knowledge. Sound interesting? Why not head on over to squarespace.com and try it for free? If you like the platform, use the code AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase. These grasses are really lovely. It's too bad there wasn't like a point of interest around here, because you could use those to lead you in, because it's so beautiful just the way they're laid down like this. It's usually the snow that does this, and then of course the new grasses will be up in a few weeks, probably April, May, they'll start to come up. But that's pretty dense back there, so I got a feeling the tree might be, I don't know, I think it might be that way. Well, I gave up on the gnarly tree. I just couldn't find it. I have no idea where it was. I guess I should have taken a GPS coordinate when I took the photograph, but I didn't turn that feature on my camera, so yeah, I have no idea. I'll probably bump into it one day. I'm sure it's down on this shelf here somewhere, but for the life of me I just can't find it. I just wanted to kind of check up on it and see if it changed any, perhaps take another shot or two of the tree, because it was a pretty cool looking tree. However, in the meantime, I've come across this really nice Arbutus here, and what I really love about this are the gnarly roots here. And now the light is not fantastic. The clouds are moving every now and then, but this would be really nice in evening or morning light, I think. But what I've done is I've put on the 20mm or 20 to 35 millimeter, and I've tried to get these gnarly roots in the foreground with this Arbutus, and then there's another one kind of in the background that it fills the spot quite nicely. But what I really love are the roots here. Now what I've had to do is with this one I'm definitely going to have to focus stack a little bit, because the roots are really close to the front of the lens here. We're about maybe about that far, so yeah, maybe two or three different focus points will probably do it. Well, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to give me the old thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and if you'd like to leave a comment about the images or anything else about the video, I'm always happy to receive those as well. Too bad I didn't find the tree, but hey, it's okay. I found some other compositions that I'm quite happy with. I think that the roots here, the first composition was okay, but I think I prefer the second one, and I think with perhaps some evening or later in the season morning light, that would probably be pretty nice image. It's a little busy, but I think I could make it work really well. Anyway, we'll have to leave that for another day. Lastly, I have a number of workshops available. We still have spots available. May, we have some for the Port Renfrew area with Alistair Ben. We have 2 or 3 spots available at one of the workshops. The other one is full. And then in October with Paul Thompson, we have a number of spots available for those as well. And also Scotland. If you're interested in going to Scotland or Spain, be sure to head on over to my website, and I'll have links to all of those workshops with more details. All right, folks, thank you ever so much again for watching, and until next time, bye.